Okay, so thanks for watching. Welcome to the channel again. If this is the intro, not sure if this will be in the middle or at the end. So what we're trying to do today is add this alarm unit in, and I must say, for such a big bike, there is nowhere to put anything. So I looked at putting it down here, no room. On the side of the engine's too visible. Just here under the starter relay, I think this is a starter relay. Seems to be just about enough room. And what we're going to do with this one is wire it into power and ground. It's got an LED, put that up into the cowling. It's got a siren, which is this, which I think we'll be able to get, if we're lucky, we'll be able to mount that up here next to the horn. And as well as that, it's got an antenna and an ultrasonic unit. So the ultrasonic unit's going to sit up here on top of the airbox. The antenna is going to sit just below that. And the idea is anybody comes near the bike, we'll just get a sensing of that. And it's got a remote, and it's meant to reach 1.5. Okay, so we're about 3/4 of the way through on the alarm now. So that's where I decided to mount it in the end. We just had to strap it to that rail, and once over the top on the back, sitting under the starter relay. Got all the wiring just sitting up there because that was just a little bit in the way of this clip. Okay, so just wrapping up on the alarm installation. Not sure where the last video got to, but this is the end result. So we've got the alarm unit down here, just on the trellis frame, just mounted on there. It's pretty firm. I had that on for a week or two. Just took it off today just to fix up a small problem. This is the connector for the siren, so I've got that on. Just got a clamp over the siren because it's so loud here in the garage. Cabling comes up under the air trumpet there, follows up under this harness, and then just looking at the top, what we've got going on, we've got the antenna mounted here behind the airbox, we've got the microwave mounted on the airbox, and then we've got the main wires. So we've got battery feed coming off this fuse, we've got ground coming off the power to the cigarette lighter power takeoff, and also accessory coming off that as well, going back down to the alarm, just on that double connector there. Over here we've got the LED, I'll show you that fitted in a moment, and then I just put an isolator switch also on that ground to the alarm, just in case I want it off if it plays up, because this is a real pain taking all of this off, as I'm sure you know, on your bike. Okay, so that's all the front end, and then the only other thing, these two yellow wires are the indicators. They run down on a black wire all the way to my little box of tricks at the back, which we'll look at later, and they fire up the rear indicators and the front handlebar indicators. Okay, so just showing you what it looks like. This is the remote. So currently it's on off. We've got lock at the top there, and there's two options for lock. So if you press the right one, there's lock with alarm and lock without alarm. So you can just see on that symbol there, each time I press that, it's flipping between the two. I'll do that without alarm. Now that's on, the microwave here, you can see as I move my body over the microwave, I come up to the bike. That's actually causing it to give it a bit of grief, and it should give a little chirp before it sets the alarm. It's also giving the warning on the LED. There we go. And the alarm's triggered. It's telling me on the remote control, using the antenna, that the alarm's going off. It's also flashing the blue LED there. It's making a noise on the remote, and it's flashing the indicators. Okay, so if I press stop on that one, or unlock, gives me the repeats. You can hear the relay clicking, and I think this is telling me that the alarm's triggered while I was away. Okay, then there's a third button there. Third button is panic alarm, so press that, and you instantly get an alarm waking up all the neighbours. That is super loud. That's why I've got that clamp over there over that siren. And then the fourth one is a kind of a detect button. So you press that in a car park. If you've lost your bike, not sure how you'd lose your bike, but you can press that just the once, I think. Haven't quite worked out all this functionality. Press it again. Okay. Doesn't want to do that now. Okay, and then the last port there is a charging port because this has got a rechargeable battery in. So the alarm came with two of these remotes, the siren, the main brain as they call it, the ECU, the LED, and all the wiring. So it's a real pain on this bike to put it in, but we got there. I'll just get the bike assembled and show you what that looks like all finished off. Just while it's going back together, just worth showing you where some of this wiring goes. So you can see here it's a bit tight, but this wiring just goes down nicely under there. Allows this side cover to go back on. Just down here, the siren disconnects just under there if I do need to get to it. If I have any problems with that siren, probably won't, so I might put that back tidy later. And then all the main wiring just sits under here, just sitting under this piece, allowing this rubber to touch down and all around the front. Just be careful, put that cable clip back on. I've got the spotlights on the front, so my harness for my indicator comes down there onto that tube, clipping in. Okay, so I think that's good, so we can get the side panel back on. On mine I've got to take the engine guard off, which is a bit of a pain. Just one bolt at the front there, and just loosen the pivot at the back here, just to get that off so I can get the side cover back on. Alright, it's all back together now. It's got the side bars back on, got all the fixings back in the front end. Just for reference, if you want to take yours apart, so there's two bolts under here and this bolt up here in the windscreen to take this side panel off. That's the first bit. Then you start taking off the black side panel. So there's about 8 bolts on there. So there's one at the front, one there, one there, one there, two there, one underneath, and one at the back of here. And then once that's off, then you can take off your white side panel, or my white side panel in this case. Okay, so that alarm's all back together, all these top screws back on, LEDs ended up there, and just showing you how that works. So we just press the lock, we should get a lock. Press the right button. Okay, that's a fail. Let's try again. Not happy, is it? Okay, so pressing that one. Yep. Pressing that one. Yep. Pressing unlock. Definitely unlock and lock. Oh, clearly don't buy this alarm, it's rubbish. Just wondering what I've done different. Okay, that definitely worked. The alarm's working, it's just not setting. Might be to do with, I've got to read the instructions properly. There's a thing about the ignition where the ignition's been on and you turn the ignition off and then it tries to set the alarm within 8 seconds or something along those lines. I'll just try that again. Okay, we'll give up. I'll come back to that in a moment when we've fixed it. Okay, so immediately after that video it started working. So alarm set and micro is working, and it's just warning me now. Gone into set mode, telling me on the remote, and now it's gone into alarm mode. So pressing stop for alarm mode and unlock. No, that was the wrong button. Unlock. Okay, now it's happily unlocked. Okay, and it's just settled down. Still flashing, just tell me the alarm went off. Can now ride the bike. One thing I didn't do was put the isolator on this installation so far. You can actually do a remote engine start, and when the alarm goes off it stops the engine or cuts the fuel. I could wire that in, but I wasn't feeling that these electronics were up to the same EC standard as the BMW. So looking again, so now the alarm's off, so alarm set is top button. We definitely have to look at this, there's something a bit weird. Alright, maybe I'll finish the video off when I've worked out how it works. But that gives you a bit of an idea. I think it's there and working. Everybody's going to say it's rubbish, so maybe I'll change this video when I worked out how it works. But that's lock, and it doesn't want to lock. Definitely weird. Press and hold. Just goes into alarm mode. Alright, we'll read the instructions and come back. Okay, so we worked it out. Didn't take too long. Basically, there is a sort of a self-arm option, but the alarm will arm and disarm quite happily, but only once the accessory is off. On this bike, I've got the accessories wired to this accessories output, which you can see here on my tyre pressure monitor. Actually provides power even for about 20 seconds after the ignition's off. So the ignition's off now. Heard the camera system turn itself off. We're just waiting now, and after about 20 seconds or so, the power will drop out on that accessory circuit, and then we'll be able to arm and disarm. So we've got arm, disarm, find and alarm cancel. Seems to be the go. Not sure how you set the clock. We'll be looking that up later. Just while we're waiting here, the LED is quite happy. That won't set until the alarm's on. And then there's two options. I think I was saying before, if you can lock, you can either lock with or without the siren sounding. So we'll show just at the end here the volume from the siren once this has gone off. I don't know if it'll take too long and make the video too long. And then let me know in the comments. There's a couple of other things. So the TPMS, just talking about that. So this is just powered from the accessories again. There we go, the accessories gone down. That goes off to the wheel, and there you heard the remote turn off, and now we can arm. And you can just see the symbol there without siren, and arm with siren, and it gives that little bleep. And then when the alarm goes off, it'll go off. I think it gives a warning from the microwave. There we go. So I don't know about you, but that was super loud. So that was the alarm going off. It didn't give the pre-warning. I'm not sure when it does that, but again, I'll read the instructions, maybe put a few notes at the end of the video. Okay, thanks for watching. Hope that's helpful for somebody who wants to put the Spy remote control 1 kilometer alarm system on their bike, especially if they're going to put it on their BMW GS. Okay, thanks for that. Oh, look, it just did its auto set. I think that's the reset after alarm. Anyway, so the blue light's flashing, the alarm's on, it gave a little buzz on the handset, and that was just a final look at the instruction manual. So I won't go through all of this, but possibly worthwhile just showing you the wiring diagram. So there's two versions, and it's really hard to work them out. I'll put the pictures in after this video so you can have a look. But basically, going through the things we talked about, so we've got the antenna, the battery ignition, the battery power, the ground, and then going through the ignition cut circuits. And so we've got the start line and the CDI in there, so basically cut the start from the ignition. The two indicators going to the left and right there, the LED, the main ground, yeah, there wasn't one at the top, and the siren and the microwave detector. But hopefully that gives a bit of an idea. I'll put the link in and show you where you can buy that.